What's up, guys? Today we are jumping into the CEN. We are doing some upgrades, some maintenance, and just kind of doing whatever we can. Just kind of updating you guys on everything that's been going on with the CEN truck. Broken again. Upgrades, some new stuff that I'm making myself, and just some updates all around. I hope you guys really like it, and let's jump into it. Had a package coming from CEN today. I'm gonna include this in another clip or something. It's just gonna be quick. But I ordered the CEN Hitch kit that they offer now. Just Hitch extension kit. It's what should have came on the truck. I don't know why it wasn't on there. It's kind of silly. It's basically 2 extensions that come off the end of the frame to put the hitch at the back bumper, like every other truck in the world. So it's called like a Chaos Advanced Tuning. We'll see. So here in the box, there it is right there, the Chaos Advanced Tuning. Part number CKD0450. Aluminum trailer tow hitch with 5.8mm pivot ball. So let's open it and see what we got. Okay, so I apologize, this is a black background on this. It's not the best, but it seems like we got another piece for the back. This is just a different, more flexible plastic. I'm not sure why they included this. Bumper cross member. It doesn't say about it being upgraded or anything, but it's definitely way flimsier than the factory, so maybe it's better. It won't crack or something or break, because I did break mine on the end right here at these 2 little standoffs. I feel like they could have just designed it thicker right there, but we'll see. So you get that. These 2 little solid aluminum frame extension pieces that are going to go to the frame. You get a little metal hitch, and you get the little screws, washers, and the little ball. Then here's how it's supposed to go assembled. Slide those 2 extensions in, bolt the sway bar back up, put the hitch piece on there, and voila. Guys, all right, so the kit's not bad. It's actually really good. It bolted up fine. Instructions are very simple. It was great. They include the little washers, just face this one piece out. The only thing I'm very concerned about is that plastic piece. So right here, all bolted up good. It's just, like I said, exactly what it is. Frame extension. Comes with little spacers that go right here, right there. And yeah, I mean, fits good. It's really sturdy, except this looks pretty cool. Anodizing on that, and a little ball, and it's adjustable outward, just not up and down. But then you come back to this. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to do. And then you guys are going to laugh. Here's my old one. Broken here. Broken there. Tried to JV weld it and it's bending again. Yes, so that's a problem child. I'm going to go take this dimensions and see if I can start printing this in maybe carbon fiber and make a stronger one. This is going to be good because it's going to flex, but I just imagine like I don't know, I can't explain how much I'm not even really putting pressure and it's already bending. Like I'm putting the slightest amount of pressure. Okay, it's on the table, but I'm barely putting pressure and it's bending. Like, you can see. It's bending, I'm not even flexing the shocks on the truck. If you flex the shocks on the truck, the whole thing goes sideways. So I don't know about that, guys. I already see this gonna break. We're gonna find out. I don't know about that. I don't like it. For $50, I definitely expected something better as well, but we'll see. I definitely think it's gonna break. I'm gonna go test it right now and see if it breaks. So you guys can see on the truck, sticks out. I'm not a fan of this. It just doesn't look real. It looks kind of weird in my opinion. I don't like it, and it's already flexing, dude. I don't like that, but here we go. We got the TRX4 on the trailer. Nothing else, just TRX4. And we're going to pick it up and put her on here and see what happens. And she's already bent. Oh boy. Let's go see. So here's the hitch that I've been printing and prototyping and producing and trying to make perfect. This is it on the truck, just kind of what it looks like from the side. These are the extensions that bring it out to the edge of the bumper, as well as a big block that's not going to break. You also have little brackets right here that'll be for chains, so you can have like a real trailer, as well as having this part adjustable inward and outward, as well as having the ball adjustable up and downward. This is something I'm making. I'm almost finalized with it, and I'll have it up for sale very shortly. It's kind of been a long time coming. I've broken a bunch of them, and I've just kind of just put it off at times and been busy with other things, but I'm finally back at it. One's on the printer printing right now, so I'll get those ready. If you guys want one, let me know in the comments. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I know it's going to be definitely better than the factory hitch, 110%. All right, we have opened old girl's rear diff case up, and we're gonna see what we're gonna find. I'm pretty sure these are teeth, but don't hold me to. Power stroke down, folks. Power stroke down. Under further examination, this is indeed metal. If you know anything about vehicles, you know those are little itty bitty teeth. We have also, this is metal, we would have cracked the diff cover. Inside we've ground this up. This still has a bunch of grease all over it. It's seen better days, it's fine. Has some, you know, kind of wear on the outside. But in here is where we get to the fun part. Yeah. We're missing a lot of teeth there, folks. A lot of teeth. So, needless to say, tow rig is down again, but this is good. We're learning, we're testing, and we know that the motor and everything's solid now, but we're going to break everything else, it seems. All right, back again, another episode on the F-450. We're gonna make the steering better again. I'm not happy with the setup I made last time. It worked, but it didn't work perfect, so we're gonna make it perfect. What we're going to do is change the position of the servo. We're going to, instead of it laying flat and the rod have to be straight up and down, we're going to lay it down and have the rod come from the bottom thing. I'll show you guys why this is becoming a problem, because I noticed it would only steer, again, like the reason I did this upgrade is because it would only steer good in one way, so we're going to try it again. All right, here, I don't know if you can see, but right there you can tell it's been rubbing the diff cover very, very much. Due to this little guy right here going back and forth on the diff cover, and it's just not going to work. And now we're going to figure out a way to mount it. How I want this mounted is kind of somewhere right here is what I'm thinking. Maybe down a little lower, and that way it will just hopefully work better and just not go in a bind. So let's get to it. So right here, there are these two little things that the servo usually mounts to. They go right here. You're going to start by removing those. What you need to do this is take the truck, flip it over, and there's going to be a screw right there for this side, and then for this side you have to take this bracket off right here. There's going to be one screw here, and then there'll be two screws down on the side right here. Take both those off, and it's just like this side. There's a screw sitting underneath this. You'll take that off, and then both of these will come off just like that with the two little screws. Then you'll go and you'll assemble this back on. Okay, once that's complete, then you're going to start by removing this front sway bar because it's in the way of your servo horn whenever you mount this way. So you're going to start by removing this bolt right here on both sides of the axle. Sorry, it's over here, right there, and right here. Then once you remove that, there's going to be two screws right here on each side. You're going to remove those and then put those bolts back in because this is going to hold the front little receiver assembly for the front bumper. And then just so you guys know, these two little nuts are going to be on the back of this screw. when it goes through the axle right here, you're gonna stick a 5.5. Gonna stick it through and go right here with it, and you're just gonna hold this nut and then unscrew that, and this will all come off. And you should have this piece right here when everything is done correctly. That piece will be removed, and then what you're gonna do is, I skip the center hole and I just put a bolt on this end and that end. And what that does is hold the center piece right here. As you can see, the screw goes through there, and then same thing with this other side. Okay, there's also going to be two little stand-ups right here, just kind of like L brackets in a way. You're going to need to grind those down with a Dremel. This is not the prettiest. I'm going to clean it up in a second. It's just got a little bit of burrs on it. But you're going to need to grind those flat. So when you come out here with the mounting piece you choose, you can do metal, you can 3D print something, or whichever you like. I 3D printed these little pieces right here, just a long one, and I cut it in half, and it is very sturdy, doesn't bend. What I'm going to plan to do is mount it right there, have it come here, and then the servo is going to mount to the bottom of it, and I'll show you more of that in a second. You're going to need two of whichever you choose. You could also just maybe buy another one of these from CEN and have two and extend it out from right there. You just need it to come out to here, so you just basically, I guess, need two of these really. That way it'll just come out just like that. Another quick thing to note, so this mount right here usually goes in the hole right there. You can see the second hole from the front of the truck. We're going to move that to the third hole, second from the back, because if that goes right back where it was sitting in that hole, this servo arm is most likely going to hit that. So we're just going to simply eliminate that problem by moving it back one, and you won't have any problems. Also, when you go to make these mounts, make sure you put the servo flush up against this front brace right here, because it'll also help with spacing against this. You could just go to the back one, I presume, and it wouldn't be a problem. Then you have to take shock off to put bolts in it. So I just think it's easier to just put the servo as far forward as you can when you're making your mounts. I'm probably gonna end up making some mounts and selling this as a kit, but for right now, if you wanna do it by yourself, just try to get the servo far forward as you can, possibly. Had to drill my own holes and put two holes right here. These holes weren't far forward enough. And then just move this back one hole and you shouldn't have any problems. Give you a little overview of what this is gonna look like when you're completed, depending on how you mounted it. I have mine from the top pretty flush, if you could see, pretty flush with the kind of top of the chassis right here. That servo just mounts pretty flush with that. That's kind of just how I gauge that in my rule of thumb. And then for this, you should kind of just look like this. This is all bolted back up, moved a hole backwards, so you're 3 from the front and 1 from the rear of the truck. That way you see you have plenty of room right here to clear, and whenever you go to turn, it'll just turn smooth. You are not hitting that. Even when your suspension is compressed, you're still not hitting it. It is close when you're right there. Right there is really the closest, but you're still not hitting it. And then you make sure you, just when you go into your radio, I have a 7PX, I don't know how y'all's is, but whatever radio you have, you go in and make sure you set your endpoint so you don't over turn and stress the servo. And just make sure you have all your endpoints set, and I'll cut the truck on and show you. So here we are. Go that way, and we can go this way. Perfectly smooth, does very well. Now I want to take a very big note here. I do not take credit for this idea. I had this idea, but I didn't know if it could be possible, so I cannot take credit for this. Nick Beemore on Facebook posted in the CEN F-450 group and shared his design of this. He just made his own brackets out of plastic, and essentially it was the same thing. I basically just kind of took his idea and made it my own, but his idea is the original one that inspired me to do this, so I cannot take all the credit for this idea. Shout out to Nick Beemore on Facebook in the CEN group. You're an awesome dude. I appreciate you giving me this idea. Okay, you're probably wondering, why is he on carbon fiber? What's he doing? Funny you ask. I had some leftover stuff from the X5 making the splitters for it, and I decided that I needed to make a lower, the axle mount for the bottom of the CEN needed to be longer to let the axle fully flex and just be relaxed like natural. So I said, why not make it carbon? So it's not perfect. It definitely could be a little better. I could have rounded the edges and stuff, but it works. It's cool. It's carbon. It's legit real. Doing a bunch of updates, guys. Just doing a bunch of updates. CEN needed some work, needed some maintenance after all the torture. demolition, abuse, something along those lines she's been going through recently. She deserves some upgrades. What's up? We have a very exciting package from CEN. The parts we've been waiting on to fix the CEN are finally here, as well as some other stuff that I got just because why not? So here we have a extra transmission case, extra motor plate, two of their lockers. I kind of wanted to see what these were all about and just got them. I'm not going to use them unless mine break, the ones I did in my video. But these are pretty cool. Just go ahead and get and put on the shelf if I ever want them or get another truck. Then we got the little pinion gear we've been needing that we stripped 95% of all the gears off the other one. Should have bought two of these, probably order another one. And then I bought one of these just in case, the one that I have is damaged. So that's what we got. We're gonna go ahead and start fixing this thing, putting the pinion gear in, getting it back together, and making sure it doesn't break again, hopefully. If it breaks again, then probably gonna put another axle in it. I don't know what kind of axle. I was looking at the low-seat LMT monster truck, but a lot of people are breaking that axle, but it looks like they're breaking the casing as far as, because it's jumping and landing on it really hard. Not jumping this, not gonna land it really hard, so I think that would be a perfect axle if I can make it work. But we're just gonna, hopefully the stock one works, cross our fingers. Okay, now if you are crazy like me and you do happen to break yours, there's my teeth sitting in the bottom of that. Seems there's just a screw right here in the center. It's a 1.5 mil. Screw this out and it should just pop right off. We're gonna see. And sure enough, that was it. Simple as that. That was really easy to do. I really like that. Just this 1.5 millimeter screw goes through the center and holds this thing flush against it. If you want to see the damage we did, there's a brand new one compared to the factory one that was in the truck. Hopefully this one won't break again. I have a feeling it may. I don't know. I don't know why this one broke. The front one's fine, so I hope that one doesn't break. But we're going to see. Brand new, going in the truck. Here's a little update on our homebrew locked diff with the JB weld. It's holding up very nicely. Very nicely. You can see that. The glue does not look like it's cracked or deforming in any way. It's still locked very hard, so definitely something good. Okay, I went back to reassemble, and I did notice that the 4 bolts that go in the diff case, like cover, that was kind of like stripped out in a way. They acted like they didn't want to tighten up, so what I did was I took them out. They were kind of small screws, not big in diameter. They were pretty long, but they just weren't that wide. They're maybe like a M1.5, not an M2 or anything. So I went and I actually took and put M3 screws and put in there. It had to have been like an M2 screw that was in there, and I took and put M3 screws. And it was flawlessly. It tightened right up and everything. I'm debating whether I'm going to put nuts on the back of it. I really don't see a need because it tightened up a lot and it was awesome. But just to know that maybe why this failed, the cover could have got loose, let that diff come out a little bit, and then just was trying to spin and then grind the gears off. But then that also doesn't make sense because the axles are supposed to help hold it in. So I'm just all kind of confused. But either way, hopefully it's fixed. We're about to test it right now and try the new steering setup we got and go from there. Something else I wanted to know, I did put a lot of blue Loctite on that little 1.5 screw that holds the pinion gear into the rear drive shaft. I would recommend doing that for sure so that doesn't back out. Guys, I really hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. This is kind of just a mashup of just everything that's been going on, just kind of update you guys and fill you in. A lot of CEN stuff happening, mainly CEN stuff, especially in this video. We're gonna have some other stuff coming up soon. Working on a big project right now, trying to get everyone's schedules to align so we can make it happen. But appreciate you guys watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And leave a comment if you want one of these hitches. And then just if you have any questions or comments about the CEN, and we can go from there. I really appreciate you watching, guys. See ya.